Yo, this is Princella the Queen Maker, also known as Auntie from Fresh and Fit. Yo, I just did an interview with Real Life Street Stars. Go ahead and follow them.
Real life. If it ain't real life, just say real life street stars. Know what time it is.
So I'm curious, in a society where there's a man and woman, do you believe it should be 50-50?
Hell no.
Who should be paying the bills? In a normal husband-wife scenario, girlfriend, boyfriend, we're living together, we're talking about building a family. Who should be paying these bills?
The men should be paying them. I'm gonna tell you why though. Baby, I know you don't want to hear that, but let's keep it up. I
don't mind paying the bill, so I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
But when you say it so matter of factish.
But yeah, a matter of factly, because once you learn the nature of a man and once you learn his motivations, it's idiotic for him not to be paying 100%. And every man deeply knows that, man, this bitch stupid for going 50-50. She's stupid. They know that because the male knows that he ain't bringing a goddamn thing to the table. He know that the woman is the value. Everything, the family, the kids, the access to sex, stuff that he would not have access to. The male needs the woman for so many things. His life depends on it. Men experience inflammation, physical pain when they break up from women. When women leave men, it's a different thing for a man to break up when they break up. A man hurts physically. A man experiences inflammation by living alone for an extended period of time. It hurts them. This thing with men, they need women. The very fact that men need women as bad as they need them, they better be paying. They better be paying. And if they ain't paying, you ain't got no business talking to them at all, because they come to take. They don't come to give. They come to take, and they try to make you think that you ain't the value, and they know good and goddamn well that you are. They know it.
What would you say if Kevin Samuels was sitting right in front of you right now?
The same thing. And I would say the same thing, because here's the thing. Kevin knew that. He tried to talk to males. Listen, how you gonna say that? How you gonna sit up here and make a video and teach dudes how to wash the crack of their ass, and then turn around and tell him that they need to go 50-50? Nah, nigga, you can't even wash the crack of your ass. You better come up with 100. If you want me to wash them dirty ass drawers that you got shit stains in, you better be paying 100% of these bills, because I'm not finna take my time to do that, right? So the fact of the matter is, Kevin tried to talk to these dudes. Dudes don't listen. What did I tell you Galileo said? You can't teach a man anything. You can only help him find it within himself. So he started talking to women, right?
Do you believe in the high-valued man?
I believe in the high-value trick, because that's what the most of them
are.
Oh,
damn. God.
They high-value tricks. No, seriously, they tricks. These dudes that couldn't get no play, they couldn't get no pussy, and then they get a little money, and they willing to pay for what they want. So here's the thing. That's why you got to be a dress size 6, and you got to be 22 years old, no older than 23 and a half. Right? They pay for accessories. At that point, a woman is an accessory to a man. A true high value man, it ain't even about that. Value is what you can give, right? How you benefit the planet, how you benefit society. What do you have to give? A high value trick is all about what what I can pay for and what access to all of the things I want. It's about success. Success and value are two different things. And Albert Einstein made that distinction. Try to be a man. Don't try to be a man of success, but become a man of value. These are two totally different things. A high value trick is all about his selfish success, but value, it concerns itself with the mind and what you have to offer the planet. And a high value man will want a woman that actually has value outside of a dress size 6 and age. So yeah, I believe that most black males are high value tricks, but very few high value men, if any.
Are there high valued women? And what does that look like?
Well, high value woman is the same thing. It's all about the mind. You got to understand that manhood and womanhood, males and females, okay? Males and females is based on your biology and how you operate in biology. It's not about what you obtain. It's about how you matriculate into functioning from the mind space. When you get to a level of functioning from the mind space and you get into your authentic self and you have value to offer, the majority of people in a patriarchal system are not people of value for the planet. They are commodities for the system. They slaves for the system. But when you become a high value person, it's what you can develop yourself to be to authentically give to replenish life.
Okay, so it's right there. A woman who has all the resources, has no need for money. She needs for nothing.
Right.
She only wants now.
Right.
What kind of man does she choose?
Well, depends on where she is. Seriously. Because you got this thing called Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, right? And self-actualization, it ain't about money and physical needs. It's about spiritual alignment, mental alignment, and all of that stuff. A high value woman who actually reaches self-actualization, if she's wanting something deeper, she would want a man who is at that level or higher. But what she's going to find out is that that man don't exist. He don't exist, right? And so some of these women end up settling with men who are much lower because they think they need men. When women get out of the idea that they need men, they ain't going to be choosing a lot of them. They not.
Oh.
They not.
So I'm curious, man. This goes so many places. I just want your thoughts on this. You know, we live in more forward-thinking community in America. 2 women adopt a boy versus 2 men adopting a girl. What scenario do you feel in those scenarios plays out better for society? Because
honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. Both of those are problematic situations to me. 2 men with a girl, no, and 2 women with a boy. 2 women who have no understanding of male psychology and male behavior can only raise that boy based on herself and what she sees in society, which she ain't doing a lot of analyzing. Women do not know how difficult it is and what a boy child needs. The female has this unhealthy relationship with boy children or her sons. Very unhealthy. She don't know how to cut the umbilical cord. They coddle these boys too much. They prevent them from busting their head. They prevent them from learning how to do things on their own. The very idea of cutting the cord and making a boy figure it out is the path to manhood. The idea of teaching this boy child how to channel his energy and his emotions in a healthy way is how you teach a boy to be a man. These women don't know that. They don't know that, right? I know that, but the majority of women don't know that. So to have 2 women raising a boy, that's death for that child. I would never even tell nobody, knowing that men are visual creatures and they are driven by sex, 2 men raising a girl child. That's a dangerous situation. Neither one of those are good for society.
2 men raising a little girl.
Yeah, that's no good for society. Come on, we got pedophiles out here. We already know that men are visually, if your dick get hard from rubbing up against a tree,
Damn.
You wake up in the morning and just looking at this post make your dick get hard.
Damn.
I'm keeping it a buck. Why would you have a developing child when we know how men's brains work? No, that is not good for a developing girl child in the house with 2 men. Men are not communal. Y'all are predators by nature, and y'all supposed to be out there. And if y'all gonna have anybody, you need to be having a boy. Leave these girls alone. Neither one of those situations are good for society. We are not equal. I'm not pushing equality. Y'all are different and y'all need to operate at your capacity. Women need to get out of this competitive mentality and get back into community and help each other with the kids. Once that boy gets around 5, 6, 7, around in that age, send him with his daddy.
Boys in the hood.
That's just the bottom line. That's how they go.
And I know you said you didn't want to talk about, too many celebrities and things like that, but I gotta ask you, how out of line was R. Kelly pulling up to McDonald's as an adult man?
All the way wrong, because R. Kelly is a predator. That's what predators do. They look for prey. That's just the bottom line. And what makes a man move is testosterone, period, right? And if you read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Sex Transmutation, men need women as muses to transmute that sexual energy into a mind space. Men use women as muses. They use them as sexual objects to get them into a creative space, right? The male mind is drastically different from the female brain, completely different, right? The average person don't notice, right? And you never really hear a woman talking the way I'm talking. You rarely gonna hear a woman come from this angle. You're not.
What is it about the male, since you say you know men well?
Yes.
What is it about the male that when a woman says the words, I'm late, or I think I'm pregnant, that makes the man want to run away versus run to? Well,
control. He could have a family. He could have a position that child, the whole scenario that he wanted to keep hidden could blow up. He thinks about the destruction of his life. It ain't really about nothing else. It's all about the destruction of his life, his obligations. And this is how, because men don't know how to channel their emotions. They don't know how to control them. A lot of these dudes unalive these women. They kill the kids too, right? Right? Because of the fear. And the fear of the unknown, the potential destruction of his life, right? The potential control, all of that goes, it's never about them. It's always about how could this destroy me? Right? Yeah.
Shit. So I'm curious, when it comes to sexuality, it seems to be that women are displaying more sexuality to draw men in than men doing that to draw women in. I see more cleavage in booty shorts versus gray sweatpants when I go online and look, and it seems like women are drawing men in. I mean, are y'all preying on our weakness?
Well, a lot of women, again, have no idea what they're doing. You got to understand. No. See, one of the greatest tools to brainwashing and controlling the nation is to make people think that their decisions and their behaviors are their choices. When you already have made the choice for them, you give them the illusion that they're making their own choices. Most people are rolling on autopilot, and they're rolling off of social programming. So you're dealing with women who listen to hip hop music like WAP. They're bombarded with all of this entertainment, right? All of that has an effect on people's behavioral patterns, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, so none of these women have critical thinking abilities. They're only responding to stimuli and copying what they see that's in front of them, okay? Now, who created this image? The woman didn't create this image. People behind the scenes created the image, like we talked earlier, right? Yeah. It's men writing the songs. It's the people who run this whole thing are men, right? It's not women doing this. So they're creating the images, they're creating all of this, and they're manipulating women to behave in certain ways without critical thought, right? So a lot of these women do not know why they do what they're doing. They're just doing it, right? Who is using these women to manipulate male behavior? The people who created the philosophies, the people who created the content, the people who are socially engineering the people. The majority of people are mindless robots. The majority of people are mindless robots. That's just the bottom line, what they're doing. So you have philosophies, you have puppet strings in the back that are manipulating behavior. So there is a rise of single lonely men. This is intentional. I want you to understand, this is intentional. There's a rise of single lonely men. And then you have a push for over-sexualization for women who don't understand male nature, because they don't know nothing about male nature. But they're using sexuality to manipulate and anger men. This is done from the top. This is not done from the bottom, right? Okay? And what's going to happen is they're trying to rile up these men, because this is a part of their depopulation plan. It's a part of the depopulation plan. Rile up these men, make them angry, right? And we already know, if you study boxing, how does a boxer get ready? Refrain from sex and make yourself angry when you get in the ring. That's what testosterone does to the male brain. And they attack. So this is a game that's being played from a much higher level, and everybody else is a pawn in it. Mindless robots that have no earthly idea about what's being done.
So when you look at going back to men wanting to be women, or saying, identifying as women, and women identifying as men, what are your thoughts on that, as far as, based on like testosterone and science, things like that? Because men are wanting to demasculate themselves because they feel like they're women, and women are wanting to masculate themselves because they feel like, really, I like women. I'm more of on a boy side of things.
Right. Now I want everybody to understand that this is not really the fault of the people that's doing this. When I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, I liked to play with G.I. Joes. I liked to run. I liked to climb trees and everything. I have a vagina. What y'all thought? What do y'all think they called me when I was a kid?
They say tomboy.
Tomboy, right? Society puts into the head of the kids that something is wrong with you and that you're acting like the other sex. It ain't organic. People start programming that instead of allowing people to express themselves. By me expressing myself the way that I'm expressing myself, it's clear that I'm a female. But guess what everybody will call me? They would call me a man. So who is the crazy one? Is it the girl who says, I feel more like a man because I like to play sports, I like this color, I like that, and I feel more like a man, so let me go and change? Or is it the people telling her that her attitudes, her characteristics, her traits are more like a man, so you must be a man, right? So for the woman, because it's a different mechanism, it's kind of a different mechanism for males, okay? But for a woman who goes and transitions and say, I feel like a male, she only has that idea because society keeps telling her that her characteristics, her traits, and behavioral patterns are manly. So now they just want to go look like it now. For the male child, y'all call him a sissy, right? If he want to play with Barbie dolls or whatever. So now y'all put into his head that you acting like a girl. So this is where these artificial feelings start coming up. If people would just let these people just be who they naturally are, I can guarantee you, specifically a woman wouldn't be trying to change. But I understand why males are, because women are born with a natural power that males do not have. And life gets so hard for these dudes that they just want to emulate women. And some of them are using this as an opportunity to go and conquer male spaces. So it's a lot of stuff going on with the male as opposed to the female. The female is just, I feel more like a male because, my personality. It's a multitude of things going on with a guy why he wants to transition or claim that he's transitioned to being a woman or identify as a woman.
We're seeing that with people who are transitioning, whether they're transitioning into a woman or transitioning to a male. We see more men who are transitioning into women wanting to dilute or erase what it is to be a woman. We're not breastfeeding anymore. We're chest feeders, and we're not natural women. We're cis women. They want to try to eradicate these words that identify us as women. You don't necessarily see these same things happening with women who are transitioning into men. They're not trying to dilute what it is to be a man. What do you say to transitioning women who want to eradicate the woman?
Okay, wait a minute. Transitioning women or
transitioning men, transitioning men into women.
Okay, here's the thing. You got to understand the nature of a male again and the power that women possess. A lot of these males, they do not like the quote unquote barrier that society has created to quote unquote protect women, right, from them. They really don't like that, okay? They're angry with the power that you possess as a woman, and they really want access to you. These men are jealous, they're angry, and they want revenge, and they just want to get their hands on you. They want to get into your spaces. So the entire motivation for them is to conquer you. Men are territorial, they are conquerors, and they are power driven. This is a power thing, and this is just another way for them to obtain power to dominate women with the barriers being removed. And women, because they don't understand this, they are rallying because you got to get to women. Women is who you talk to. You don't talk to men. Men don't listen. They reject practically everything. You got to get to women and convince women to accept stuff. Women are accepting this under LGBT because they don't understand the nature of a male. The nature of a male is conquering, territorial, and power driven. And they have an agenda to eradicate you by wearing your attire to take your place. It's pussy envy, right?
In your perfect world, what does your society look like?
It would be women dominated, and it would be female dominated, and a very low number of men. It would be probably about 20% men, 80% women. I don't know if y'all know a lot about astrology, but the astrological signs for the masculine signs for fire is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. These are fire signs, and they're masculine signs. What happens when fire gets out of control?
It spreads.
It destroys everything. Okay. The male is fire. The male has to be controlled. If you do not control the male, you will set the world on fire. And that's what you see right now. The world is set on fire. So the feminine is water. Scorpio, it's water, right? You fight fire with water, right? So in my perfect world, there will be 20% men, 80% women to control. Fire has its place. You can use fire to cook food. You can use fire for a lot of different things, but you can't let that get out of control. And you allow men to exist at their capacity. You don't make men do things that they weren't designed to do. Men were not designed to raise kids. They weren't designed to do that. They're designed to do. They're designed to use their mechanical skills, right? You allow them to operate at their capacity and no more. Society putting way too much pressure on men to do things that y'all wasn't created to do. So in my perfect world, I wouldn't put all of this crap on y'all to do. I wouldn't expect you to come in and share the load with me, because the community of women would take on the majority of that responsibility. And y'all would be over things that intrigue you, like death. Y'all like to fight. You like to conquer. I would let y'all go hunt, and I would let you be over funerals. But over big stuff that deals with nurturing life, y'all wouldn't have nothing to do with that.
It sounds like Atlanta.
Huh?
All right. Well, I'm curious. What do you say to the woman who chooses to propose to a man? She wants to get on one knee. She wants to lock him in. I gotta get him.
She a nutcase.
But no, if she sees in just based on society, I want this man. I want to lock him in. I want to marry him. And she says, I'm gonna get down on one knee and propose to him. I'm gonna lock him in. You say she's nuts for that?
Yeah, because she's in delusion land. It's men who need women in their life. And men, when they find one, because men die a painful death if they die alone. Men cannot be alone. They need somebody there, right? It's men who need family. Women already have family, right? It's y'all who leave the nest, who try to go find your way on your hero's journey, right? You either sink or swim. And when a man finds somebody, it's valuable for him to have that person in his life because he need that person. Please spend the rest of your life with me, right? He need that. The woman don't need that. So any woman getting on her knees to propose to a male is idiotic because you're proposing to give all of your resources away for nothing. You don't do that. That's a male's position. I'm sorry men don't like their life. I'm sorry men hate the fact they got to compete and they got to be strong. But that just is what it is. Prove to me you a damn man and do it on your damn own. Right?
So I'm gonna bring it all the way home, and I want you to just kind of, give us your take on it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna say, Priscilla, men are better, and women are, inferior versus women are better and men are inferior. Mm-hmm. If I'm saying men are better, women are inferior, like we are the prize. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. We are the prize. You, I'm assuming, will feel the other way around, that women are superior. And
oh,
women
no,
are the
baby.
prize.
It's real simple. Let's just put it to the test, right? Let's put it to the test. Because, see, we ain't traveling across seas trying to go find no pussy. We ain't passport girls, but that ain't us. Let's put it to the test.
Y'all get flued out.
Wait.
Okay.
Let's
Shout out
put
passport girls.
Yeah, let's put it to the test, right? Y'all can be better. I'm cool with that, Ain't no fight on my end, baby. See, when let's let the truth reveal who's the strongest and who's the weakest. If women find out who y'all really are at the core and they know what I know and they stop dealing with you, let's see who go crazy first. Let's see who destroy the world. Now, y'all can either humble yourself, every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bow that the true God is feminine energy, and y'all get in y'all place like you're supposed to be, all right? Or you burn in hell on the inside when that bitch don't give you shit. I'm gonna make y'all simps and proud simps, man. Shit. Man, I'm Russell Wilson, man. That's what's up. You got your queen, baby. I'm gonna turn all y'all into simps.
So what are your thoughts on Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship?
I don't really follow them that much, but I think a lot of that, it was business. When you're dealing with celebrities at the height that they're at, that ain't no low level Pookie, Ray, Keisha type shit. No, that's some high level business shit there. You know what I mean? And I don't have the expertise behind the scenes of how the interworkings with a relationship like that go. But I know it's political. It's politics in that, high level politics. So I have no real commentary on that.
Without question. All right, so I want to be able to, touch on, the Queen Maker, even that moniker.
Yes.
What does that name come from? Like, are you making queens? Are women responding to you as the way men used to respond to Kevin Samuels, saying, hey, you opened up my eyes. I didn't understand me, because you said women kind of go into situations without an understanding of self.
Right, correct.
And you're kind of opening their eyes.
I'm opening their eyes to everything, right? and they love it, right? My book, $45. I don't got no complaints about people buying my book for $45 because It's straight game, it's straight wisdom, it's straight truth. It's all there, you know. And,
Name of the book again?
41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You, right? Every man is using you for something. Ain't none of them coming to love you. They coming to use you. You just got to figure out what for.
Why not even 40? Just 41 shades?
Because it's 41. I mean, right.
One more.
Yeah. If I find another one, I might make a bonus. I might make a bonus, right?
I don't know if you answered this. Can women love? Did you say women can love?
Oh, not only can they love, they're actually created to be love. Women are love.
Oh, yeah.
They just ain't operating in it because they've been brought down to a level of codependency, right? See, to operate in love, you got to operate in no need. Now, let me go back a step because you asked me about the queen maker.
Yes.
The queen maker is me developing women and moving them from being pawns on the chessboard because this whole life is a game. Women just ain't figured out it's a game. Men know it's a game. A lot of women don't know it's a game. So I'm taking women from being a pawn to being a queen. The most powerful piece on the chessboard is the queen because it's the most free piece on the chessboard. It can move in any direction uninhibited. Freedom is equivalent to power. Freedom is where love is. Love is free. Free, not in the term of giving things away, but in terms of inhibition, allowing a person to be who they authentically are, not based on what you need. But everybody is operating at a need level. Women have been brought from independence into a level of quote unquote submission that puts her in eternal need that keeps her away from love or being loved. But when you allow a woman to be free, women become love. Men cannot love. Women are love.
Why do you think in chess, to win, you have to capture the king?
Well, it's real simple, right? Because the man is the creator of the game.
Yeah.
It's real simple. No, serious.
Simple as that.
It's simple because the
Change the
man,
titles, it'd have been-
the man created the game. The system of patriarchy is created by a man. All of this is a game. So when you capture one gamer, the other gamer wins, right? But the queen is the most powerful piece because she has the ability to move everywhere. So a lot of men know they can't move like a woman moves. So I need women on my side. First thing a man do, man, we got to go get some bitches, man. You know some girls that could be in my video? Hey, you know, man, Fresh and Fit, they need them bitches on there.
Yeah.
They need them.
Yeah.
Men
Be a different
need women. So they can't play the game without them and be, so the more queens that you get, the more powerful your side be. But the only reason why the game, quote unquote, end, the game don't end, your game end, because the other king is still standing, right? The game continues to go on, just your game ain't going on. And that other bitch, she's still thriving on his side. Everybody like a winner. Don't nobody like to fuck with no loser. Why we tripping?
That's what she said. The game still goes on and behind it. So I'm curious. When it comes to the act of sex, and both a man and a woman climax at the same time, who has the upper hand?
Well, in that situation, it really depends on the mind space, right? It depends on the mind space because that actually is a powerful energy that's created when both people climax at the same time. Because sexual energy is an energy that can produce a lot of things, right? Provided that the people know what the hell they're doing, right? Right? Because now we're entering more of a mental conversation, which a lot of people ain't really equipped to have, right? So there is no quote unquote upper hand in that unless there's some deception at play, right? Right? Because the most powerful energy on the planet is sex energy, and that can be used for good or bad. But when you're dealing with people who operate on a survival mentality, typically what comes out of that is negative creations, most of the time.
That is true. So I want you to tell the people about, your podcast. You were on Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
You were the oldest woman on Fresh and Fit.
I
at the
sure
time.
was.
Did
And
it-
they didn't even know it. Look, they didn't even know it. Cause see, I was listen, my IG, I got a few nice little pictures on my IG. I could pass for like 29 or something. So when they went over there and looked, they're like, they needed some bitches, right? They needed some women on their podcast. So it's like, I reached out. I could based on my pictures, I could blend in. They didn't know I was 37. But they probably ain't gonna have another 37-year-old chick on there. after I did what I did, we gonna screen these bitches. Bitch, how old is you? Right? no, they need young, naive chicks because they don't have the ability to fire back at them. See, I don't give a damn how you look at me. I don't care. I'm not trying to get I'm not trying to get your validation. I'm trying to extinguish your argument.
Ooh.
So, bitch, I could be 57. I want to extinguish your argument. Cause see, now that your dick don't get hard for me no more, cause I'm Auntie, right? And I done hit the wall and winter the cane. Now we can get sex out the way, and now we can go mind to mind. Fuck the sex. Talk to me like you got some sense. Intellectually challenge me. But they can't do that. They ain't ready for that. I don't give a damn if your dick get hard behind me. I ain't trying to make it hard no way.
Why did you go on Fresh and Fit?
Exactly what I said, to extinguish his argument.
Is that feels kind of like conquering?
Huh?
That feels conquering. Like if
Well,
you're
yeah. I mean, shoes. I'm the leader. I'm the leader of a woman's movement. So here's the thing: ain't who challenging the manosphere? The males are just out here blabbling at the mouth, and you ain't got no strong intellectual chick standing up to them, challenging them. Right? I'm a leader of a woman's movement. I'm going to challenge the big dog. I'm going to challenge, and anybody that's the big dog, I'm willing to intellectually challenge you in your talking points. So my fan base suggested that I go on Fresh and Fit. Y'all, you need to go on Fresh and Fit. I thought about it. At first I said no, but then I thought about it. I said, yeah, I'm a request. And they say I can come. And I went, and bingo, bango.
Bingo, bango.
Yeah.
So the High Power Podcast. Your channel is called
the High Power Podcast.
High
Yes.
Power Podcast. What is your mission with that podcast? Are you trying to alienate men? Are you trying to teach men? Are you trying to just bring women on and empower them?
Well, see, here's the thing: the manosphere is for men. Why I can't just talk to women, right?
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, because I know that our demographic is 85% men. Used to be like 97%, but we had a couple of women that went viral. Now it's 85% men, 15% women. So we know we're talking to men mostly on this platform. Do you know you're talking to men? Are you talking to men when you go on your platform?
Hell no, I ain't talking to men. Galileo said you cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him find what it is. Why am I going to waste my breath talking to people who ain't going to get it?
Can we not be taught? Can we not fall in line?
Hell no, because y'all ego in the way.
God damn.
No man wants to hear. No man wants to hear that he ain't desirable. No man wants to hear that he lazy. No man wants to hear that, right? All that's gonna put him on the defense, right? Because they already ain't getting no pussy. All of the chicks that they want don't want them, right? Let's just keep it a book. They don't want to hear me say that you need to be responsible because the average man wants to be a perpetual victim. No, she did this to me. She did that to me. And so they can't, I'm too strong for them. Your dick's supposed to get soft when you around me. It's supposed to, right? I wanted to because goddamn, I'm not giving you no pussy. So now we even because they subpar. That's just the bottom line. And no man wants to hear that. No man who's putting on the good guy image wants to hear that he's a predator by nature because they need to put on the good guy image. They know they predators, but damn, they don't want women to know that. Bitch, shut up.
So a man who's, let's say, well endowed, do you feel like he wants to be heard that he's just a toy, he's just a boy toy? I'm just using you for what you
Oh, no. Let me tell you something. A male will act like and pretend that he wants to be used as a boy toy. Men need they need to feel like a woman values them outside of that. They really want to feel it. Even if it's not real, even if he is a boy toy.
Lie to me.
Yeah, he want to be lied to. He don't want to think that he's a piece of meat. This bitch just used me for sex and kicked me out of her house. The male, it ain't just about sex, because that's a biological need. Sex is like water and air for males. It is. After that, he wants to feel like he's valued by some woman. And if she don't, and he a boy toy pass around for every woman that he come across, I promise you it's gonna be problems. No, sex is just the energy that men move on, but they do want to be valued by somebody.
So there's not female predators?
Well, everybody can be a predator, but there are. Here's the thing. When you create a society like this and you put every person in survival of the fittest mode, you create predators. You even create predators. Men are naturally predatory, right? They exist by nature in survival of the fittest. That's not the nature of a woman, but when you put people in an environment that makes them competitive for resources and their basic necessities, you create predators, right? But testosterone, the chemical testosterone, makes men predatory. Estrogen don't make women predatory. The environment and the system and the circumstances can create a woman to be predatory. However, I got a big however there. Men pursue women. So if this bitch asks you to pay her bills, that's not predatory. That's business. That's business. Okay? Yeah. I need y'all to understand the difference, because people.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Go ahead, baby.
All right, so you look nice. I'm sure you look nice all your 37 years. I'm sure you are somebody men sought after. There are women out there who do not look as put together as you, and they may want the affection of a man outside of what you're talking about. They may want a man to like me. But a man is looking at you versus looking at them. So now they're getting jealous hearted. They're looking at you like, I got to bring her down a notch, because the man that has you is the man that person wants. And they may not be put together as such. There's levels.
But see, again, like I say, all of this was created by patriarchy and capitalism, breaking up women from their nature and making them compete against each other. I mean, if you turn to chapter 28 in Pimpology by Pimp and Ken, chapter 28, go to the ism. It's specifically saying there, you don't want women to be friends. You want them to dislike each other. The male is the reason that women compete against each other when they don't have to. If you like me, I don't mind sharing your penis and your tongue with the other chick. You can lick everybody, because I'm gonna hold you out. Because the natural pimp, the original pimp, was the woman. You don't own men. You pass men around. That's what y'all want anyway, right? So, right?
I mean, so shit.
So ain't no reason. She just don't know. That's the thing. She don't know that. But when you put women back in that mentality, baby, ain't nothing to fight. We can share, baby. We can share.
So what do you feel about the man who sleeps with 100 women, where he's revered, like they look up to him, men and women, like, he must be, he's there. And the woman who sleeps with 100 men is looked at like as a hoe.
Well, there's some logic behind that, okay? All right. There's a difference, because women are the value. Nobody is bitching about a person that got 15 bank accounts with $100,000 in each one of them, right? Ain't nobody tripping about that. Ain't nobody tripping about a person with 15 necklaces, diamonds, right? Ain't nobody tripping about that. 5 cars, right? People name their cars after women. Ships are named after women. All of those things that I just named are feminine They're feminine. The feminine is the value. So a woman, a man that got, let's say 5 different women, each one of those women have something valuable and they pour life into that man. The more things of value, right? Women are the fucking value. You surround a woman with a bunch of men, the male is not the value. They suck you dry. So every man that touch you, they take from you. They take and they don't put. So if you fucking 100 men, you got 100 men that done took life out of you. What are you worth after all the men that took from you? Not a goddamn thing.
I actually understand.
Yeah.
Specifically what you're saying there.
Yeah.
All right, so for those that, again, I want to lean them back to the podcast, tell them how to, as far as what your podcast is preaching. You got some big things coming up, going forward with the podcast.
Yeah.
What is your overall goal of like your speech and your delivery? Like, what do you, again, like we were talking, what would you like to see in society?
Well, okay. The planet is on fire right now.
Yes, it is.
Y'all know what's happening with these CBDCs and, AI and moving all of these jobs and stuff. The fact of the matter is you have to be of some value now. And women are needed to sustain the life of the planet. The planet is in trouble. You got polar bears dying out there because they didn't push this willow project. So this is bigger. Women are needed to add the value to sustain and extend the life of humanity and plant life, animal life, just life in general. So my objective is to get women to stop pouring all their energy into black holes, which is males who come to take and not replenish. Decenter males, find your life purpose and add value to this planet. Men got to figure it out on their own. And if they don't, that's on them.
Were you satisfied when Kamala Harris won VP or was appointed VP?
Honestly, I don't even be into that stuff like that. Like, I ain't got no dog in that race, right? So
men, we were happy Barack Obama made it to, the president, presidency. I'm just curious for you.
Honestly, I mean, whenever a woman puts in the work, the effort, in a competitive environment like this, that's male dominated, I'm always going to approve of that work, right? Now, the political ideologies and all of that, I don't know too much about that because that I'm not in that arena. However, when a woman works and earns, she gets credit where credit is due. I give credit where credit is due. Because this is a hard game to play, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a hard game to play.
So to close it out, I just want to, once again, go back to the beginning of, the original question. Do you hate men?
I don't hate men, but I think men hate themselves. No, seriously, right? When I speak of the male nature and y'all see y'allself in the mirror, because y'all have to do everything in y'all's power to put on the right hat, the right uniform, or the right personality to get the woman that you want. Y'all got to pretend to be something. But if y'all really showed y'all true colors and women see that, y'all know who y'all are. But when I show you who you are, you don't like what you see in the mirror. You got to cover that up with the good guy approach. With, I'm the nice guy. I'm not like all them other guys. All of y'all got this predatory beast inside of you that you got to tame. And because I can see it and I call it out for what it is, I must hate men. No, baby. You hate what you seeing in the mirror. You hate you. That ain't got nothing to do with me, right? I just don't, the energy that men bring, which is destructive, I simply don't want it. I don't want that in my life because I'm a peaceful person and I got too much going on and I don't have time to be arguing and competing and fighting with no male. I don't have time to walk on eggshells and stroke his ego. Did I say this the wrong way? I don't got time for that. You just go over there. Yeah.
Do you think women love themselves?
No. No, they don't. And that's one of my, that's why I have my workshop called Love, Men, and Manipulation Decoded. I teach women the structure of what love really is. And I teach women how to get in tune with themselves and how to actually love themselves. Like I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that men are incapable of. They can't do it even if they wanted to. But I can get women to a point where they actually do value and love themselves, right? But they don't at the moment. No.
Right. When you see things like the BBL epidemic where women are just, sculpting their bodies based on what they want to look like. What are your thoughts on that? Because men ain't really going that route.
Right. It's because it's not about y'all. That's all about the insecurity of herself and propaganda, because propaganda depends on fear mongering and insecurities for this whole thing to survive. It's based on fear and insecurity. Who do you target? The woman is impressionable because feminine energy is impressionable. The subconscious mind is the feminine space, right? That is impressionable, okay? All right. So you target women with these ads. Nobody's paying attention to men, nobody, right? Now, that's an advantage and it's a disadvantage for the male, right? But nobody's paying attention to y'all. No marketing dollars is going to persuade y'all for anything, because everybody knows that the male is not impressionable. The male follows commands. He doesn't follow impression, right? Okay. So it's a different psychological thing. So with women, you have to target how they feel about themselves. So this don't have nothing to do with y'all, and it has more to do with society telling her you're not beautiful, you're not worthy, and so to be who I am, one of the things that I like to do on my show, the High Power Podcast, is I like to demonstrate confidence, right? Yeah. You can't tell me nothing about me that's going to make me feel bad, right? If you call me a man, I'm just going to tell you, well, let's speak man to man. Now we can get all of this gender shit out the way, and maybe we can have a real conversation now if you see me as a man, right? It doesn't matter what you say about me, because I love me, right? And I embrace me. I'm not getting no booty shots for you. I'm not trying to fix my hair a certain way. Either you like me or you don't. And either way, I really don't care, right? And I want to teach women to get to that level of confidence. But the only way that you can do that is to stop listening to the outside noise. Stop watching this bullshit on TV. Stop listening to people tell you you ain't worthy. Because the whole objective is to bring you down for some plan that they have, for some desire that they have, right?
Yeah.
It's always an ulterior motive.
Man, this has been a great conversation, man. I it's funny because when we started this, I was wondering, I'm like, I know she has a vibe and a thing too, and I was surface level for my knowledge, and I'm glad you came with such knowledge and wealth as far as when you said, I know men. I'm like, okay, hearing your story, right. I kind of get, where you're coming from. I know it's going to get dissected. There's a lot of holes that people are going to try to find and say, hey, what about this and what about that? That's what a part 2 is for. Yeah. We got to bring you back because it's so much to unpack, but I definitely want to get the surface levels of who Princella is. You know what I'm saying? I watched the Fresh and Fit. They called you Auntie. So, I mean, you come with knowledge, you come with game. Mm-hmm. For those that do want to, go all the way through there, read your book, follow you on YouTube or whatever, social media platforms you're on. How can they get at you? How can they, where do they need to go? Where you send them?
They can follow me on YouTube. If you can just type in the Queen Maker, that's my handle. The High Power Podcast, you can look it up by that too. You can follow me on IG. I am Princella _ and you can get my book, 41 Shades of Men, at PrincellaTheQueenMaker.com. That book is hot, on fire, and a lot of people buying it. And if women get that book and they start working that book, I'm telling you, game is over.
Oh.
Yeah, game is over. Because ain't nobody challenged Pimp by Iceberg Slim or Pimpology. There is really no other book to counter these books. The game do that. the game do that.
And the last question I got before we cut is, do you feel motherhood changes women as far as becoming a mother?
Absolutely.
Changes their logic and their thought process of where they saw the world.
Absolutely. Right? Now, like I said, in biology, once you introduce a stimulus, the organism is going to naturally respond unconsciously to the stimulus that you introduce to it. A child is a stimulus, but there's something that goes on with male children versus female children. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the male fetus leaves male DNA lodged into the woman's brain, which alters how she behaves with the male. This is one of the reasons why women are so much more attached to their sons than their daughters, right? It is the male's DNA that's kind of manipulating how she behaves. This is why I say it's mind over matter. Women have to be given the science on how to handle male children, because if she does not have that knowledge, she's going to automatically roll with her behavioral patterns, reducing her biology down to benefit the male. She's going to be more attached to that boy child because, you know what I'm saying? So children in general change the woman, but for sure, male children really do change women big time.
That's real. That's real. I mean, we're going to leave it right there. Is there any shout outs you'd like to give? Any people that kind of forwarded you to this path right here?
I would like to thank every guy that I have come across in my life. My mentor, who I no longer am in connection with. My friend who is a pimp that I'm no longer in connection with, right?
Okay.
I still have a friend that's a pimp, him. All of the guys, everybody who has ever been put in my path that I've learned something from that has helped me get here with what I know, I thank them all, right? And
has anybody ever tried to pimp you?
No.
Like attempted?
Okay. No, not on like trying to put me on the blade or nothing, but anytime a male is trying to deal with you, they always have an ulterior motive. So even though he wasn't trying to put me on no blade, they was trying to come from a different angle, right, to try to use me for their own personal gain. So one of them tried to use me to create a podcast with him, right? But he was going to try to take control of the podcast and try to take credit, but have me doing all the work. That's pimping, right? So that's how he was going to try to do it. Then the other one was trying to use me and my music skills to use me as a pawn in a game, in a political game. He wanted, that's pimping. Anytime a male is trying to spit game into your head to use you to benefit, and then they want to take all the credit, baby, that's pimping, right? You ain't got to be selling no pussy. It's something of value that they see that they want to use for their benefit. That's pimping, right?
There you go. All right, so any other shout outs, any other people that, you know?
Yeah.
Because you see
Monica.
Yeah, Monica.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Monica.
Definitely.
I want to shout out to everybody who reached out to me on my platform, who might have saw me and wanted to add value and help me go to the next level. I shout out all of them. You know what I mean? Everybody who's touched this has something of value to do to it. So, y'all kind of caught me off guard because my path is not one that I just created. It really comes from a whole bunch of other people, and everybody that even got me here, like Monica, I didn't even know who she was. She just started following me and reached out to me. You know what I mean? So
that's how it works.
Everybody, y'all, for allowing me to come here to speak, y'all, everybody, so I appreciate that.
And I'm just curious, if you could meet your 17-year-old mother, what game would you spit to your mom?
What I would tell her, because my mama has a different issue, that she needs to love herself, and that looking for the family to be the validator ain't the way to go, because you don't need nobody else to validate you. You know what I mean? I feel sorry for my mom, really, because she'll never know the things that I have learned. And if she knew what I knew, her life would be so much better. Right. You know.
Right. That's real, man. Well, there you have it, man. Auntie in the building, man. Princella, man, the queen maker. It's a wealth of game, a wealth of knowledge. Again, I don't even know we were even fully equipped to handle this conversation, but I'm so glad we had it because I'm gonna go do some research and come back to this motherfucker and I'll be ready, really go at you. And I know you had some, talks with even Charleston White of even having him have a face-to-face conversation with you, man. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I'm really excited to see how that turns up, and I can't wait to see the, just.
Oh man, that's gonna be lit.
Yeah,
right?
just the way the world comes at it.
Oh yeah, I knew that's gonna be lit. I always wanted to talk to Charleston. Like when I first started this, and I saw Charleston, I'm like, me and that brother, we got a whole lot in common. And I'm like, if I talk to him, that's game over. That's game over. Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be an interesting conversation. Yeah. And it definitely shout out to Zulu Network because I think that's where that might land. Man, I'm just excited for that whole thing, that whole project right there. So with that being said, again, thank you so much for coming, blessing us. There's going to be a lot of people that agree with you, some people that don't agree with you, some people that's indifferent and in between. Mm-hmm. And, they go back, play this and jump in the comments. We're going to bring the conversation back, but I got to say it, man, Princella, man, the Queen Maker, you are a real life street star. Yeah. We salute you. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you.
Let's do it.